Hey guys, good morning. It's October 27th, 2021. I'm Kimberly Jolly at Fat Quarter Shop FlossTube, and today we're going to talk a lot about planning for 2022 and how I do different planning to keep myself organized. We're going to talk about week 4 of Stitch-Tober. I have 2 finishes, and then I have a lot of piecing from Cheryl to show you, and I have some what's new items. So we're going to start with talking about planning, and at the first part I'm going to talk about 2022, and when we show you the new section I'm going to show you how I'm ending off 2019, 2020, 2021. Oh my god, I'm 3 years behind, so sorry. But so we're going to talk about 2022 now. I could have skipped those years, that'd have been great. Okay, so we have the new Lori Holt planner, and I'm going to show you how I plan like my whole year for work and personal. So in here I use little stickers. Lori made these stickers with us, gosh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And so they're tiny stickers. So I prefer these to the Riley Blake stickers because they're smaller for my planner. And what I did do is from those I put 2022 so that I know this is 2022, even though 5 seconds ago I didn't know what year we were in. So I put this, and here I'm not going to fill this out yet. I'm going to do this closer to January. But what I do is on the months, I put birthdays. So like I put birthdays here, vacations, that kind of thing. So my birthday, spring break. I don't put that on these pages. I keep the pages in here just business related. And I haven't finished filling this out, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. And this is going to give you a little peek at my plans for 2022 on cross stitch and for quilting. Now for quilting, a lot of the quilt-alongs for 2022 haven't been planned yet. I know about them, but there's no date, so they can't go in the planner. So the first thing is the first Tuesday of every month, I have Stitchy Talk. So I put a little scissor. I thought that was cute. And then Wednesday, what I put is everything that needs to be finished for that week. And then Friday, everything that needs to be finished for live stream. So I have a Friday quilting live stream and a Wednesday. And we're going to talk about the different projects that I'm going to be doing in a second. And I do use a pencil, and the reason I use a pencil is so that I can erase it, because obviously plans change a lot. If I wasn't going to use a pencil, I would probably use a friction pen, but I'm kind of a pencil person. And then like here, I've already talked to Sherry McConnell. She's going to be doing a free block of the month for 2022. So I've scheduled it right after she releases it. And so, and then like for Emma's dance, okay, so we're going to go to this dance convention where it is, the hotel, and then I put my trip ID so that when I get there, I have my hotel reservation. And this is going to be our free scrappy pattern that we're going to do, and here's my cross stitch. So I've done this all year, and I've got my anniversary, Valentine's Day, and Stitchy Talk, and I've scheduled the whole year. And you're gonna, and this is like Emma's dance convention. Now my boys, they don't plan that far out, so their sports is more like it's a 6-week program, 6 weeks program, 6-week program. But Emma's dance is like you get the whole calendar up front. So I have like her dance convention where it's at, because I never know where anything is. I never know where we're going. I kind of look the week of, but then it kind of keeps me, at least I know what city it's in, because that's always good. Now my priorities in this column, this is my goal to have it finished. So when I have it fully finished, this is when I want to have it fully stitched. I haven't filled it all the way out, but there are some in here that are done, some are not. So yeah, this is, and I put little stickers just because I wanted to be cute. And then like, for example, March 16th and 18th, we're not going to have a live stream, so I put no live stream. Now I left my items there because I still want to complete my goals then. I'm just not going to have a live stream, and it's spring break, so I'm assuming we're going to go somewhere. And then like dance, And then like here, this plans like live stream. This means I'm going to actually sew. On most of those, I put a little sew sticker. So this is like, I want this to be completed. But even when you go back here, I even have like stuff planned even in, let's see, August. So I've got the whole year done. Now, obviously, I'm going to add as I go. And I put the little holidays. But still, I mean, I've still got priorities all the way back in December. And again, this is what I want to have completed that month. This is the only part that I don't have all the way filled out for each month. I need to go back and do a little bit of that. But this is how I get so much done, is I have goals. And so that week, what I do is I have, I put a little Post-it note here. So if we were in the last week of December, I'd have a Post-it note here. And then I would go there and I would know what I need to do. Well, the last week of December, we don't have any videos. You know, I take that time off to be with my family, so I don't have to worry about it. And then when I go here, I'll have a sticky note and I know, okay, these 3 need to be done. I need to plan my Stitchy talk, and this is what needs to be done for Friday. Well, obviously it's the beginning of the year, so that video is actually it's already pre-planned. It's gonna be kind of a summary, so I don't have to do anything here because I've already sewn everything. So this is how I stay organized, and it's just a good way. But I keep all of this, like, I kind of keep business and personal separate. Anything that's the weekend is always my kids. But any birthdays, anniversaries, I don't put those in here. I put those in here. Now, it's only the way that I do it. I'm going to show you a friction pen, and I'm going to show you the pencil I use, because I see some people asking. I'm a pencil person. I've always been a pencil person. So a friction pen is, let's see. So with a friction pen, what you can do is you can write, this is just a new book. But if you want to erase it, it erases. So that's why I did a friction pen. And then the pencil, we can link to the pencil that I use in the description box, but I bought them on Amazon. I'm super picky about my pencils, but I've always been a pencil person. So on Monday, it took me 8 hours, and I basically focused on quilting and cross stitch. Now with quilting, what I did is I reached out to all of the designers that I work with and just asked them, what do you have planned for 2022? Quilting is planned, I guess, a little bit later, and I have less control over it. So I have reached out to everyone that I do sew-alongs with, and I'm just waiting on answers and dates to add. But I went ahead and did my 2022 journal, and so we can talk. Well, I'll show you more in detail later, but I'm going to show you what I have planned for 2022. I know some of you guys are going to be excited, because I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous about being able to get everything done, but so for 2022, I already have 23 items on the list. So any pattern that I knew of that I want to stitch is in this book. It might be here, it might be just planned. So it just kind of depends, and I'm going to talk through each one that I'm doing. But this is basically, if it's in here, it's in here, so that I can always go from here to here, because they kind of go jointly, if that makes sense. And then my quilting journal, I'm not going to show because it's on, because we're on the cross stitch channel, but my quilting journal is also started. So I do this, I would say quarterly. I really keep up with this, and sometimes I just have to schedule 4 hours or 8 hours just to kind of get everything together. But if you have a list, I seem to get more done. So my first project I'm going to do is Fall on the Farm. This is the one that is coming out in December by Little House Needleworks. Now, she hasn't released the pattern. She's only released, I think she's using 16 count Beautiful Beige. I'm going to go ahead and do 14 count Beautiful Beige. But I don't have the stitch count. I don't have the floss. I don't have anything. And we are going to offer a pattern and floss club for that when we get it. But I put a little note that we're waiting on the pattern. Nutcracker Village, I signed up for our club. It might be sold out now. And I'm actually going to stitch on 32 count Belfast raw silver. So I purchased that before we sold out. We're going to have more in January, February. The manufacturer of that is in Germany. And I've already divided out like part 1 through 11, and that matches my book over here. Now, if I'm thinking I can stitch on this because I had the eye surgery and my vision is really good. I was thinking my up close vision wouldn't be as good just because of a previous surgery I had and the results they thought. But when I went the other day, they were like, oh my gosh, your results are so much better than they were supposed to be. So I'm thinking I can do the Belfast linen. And I'm also going to get tips from Cheryl as I go since I don't have that much experience. And one of the things you guys wanted was a little bit more intermediate. So I'm going to try more intermediate. These two are things that are going to be on the coming soon page this week. So if you are a Lori Holt lover, you can probably Google Vintage Housewives quilt and figure out what that is. We're obviously going to have that as a cross stitch. And flea market, it's actually flea market, not flea market baskets. Oh, it's flea market baskets. Yeah, it is flea market baskets. So you could Google flea market book, and then you'll see there's baskets in it, and then you can see what it is. And I've divided it by block, or how I'm going to do it. These both have a goal of finishing in December. So these two are going to be sew-alongs for the whole year. And these are going to be on the coming soon page later this week. We are waiting for the photos because we don't like to put up digitals. So those are going to be my two Lori full years. Farm Life is the secret. You'll see it on the coming soon page soon. Heartfelt Charity, we will show you. It is in the process. Priscilla has it right now and she's finishing it. And so I've already picked my floss. I'm going to use the Artful box that we came up with, and I've broken it out, and all of these little sections coordinate over here. And let's see, number 7. And I've pulled all these as kits too, so I'm ready to go. So Doodles, I loved the series. It's by Heart in Hand, and there are, right now, there's spring, summer, and autumn. Now, I emailed Cecile, and she said she's working on winter, and it's going to come out in a couple of months. So I've already filled this out. I've pulled the kits, and then I'll fill this out when it comes in. I just like to have these all together. Now, my goal on these is to do them quarterly. So, like March, June, September, December, something like that. But it all is already in here. And then a Lori Holt cut sew press or cut press sew. You can probably Google that. And there was a magnet that looked like that. And so our cross stitch is going to look similar. Bloom Where You're Planted is going to be something we're going to do in Mania next year. Now, all of the calendar crates I need to finish. So my goal is before the end of 2021, I'm going to have all the way through January done. So I have scheduled in the remaining calendar crates: February, March, April, May, June. And obviously I don't have the stitch count. I don't have the floss, but I just wanted them in there so that they're scheduled. I know about what time they ship from Stitching with the Housewives. And so when they come in, I just fill it out and it's ready to go. Now, you guys wanted me to do Glitter Village, so I'm going to do Glitter Village at the same time as Nutcracker Village. Hopefully I can keep up with both, and I'm going to also use the Belfast linen. And one of the things you guys asked in one of my videos was to use more designers. So I am adding Heart in Hand, which you already saw, and I'm adding Silver Creek Samplers. Follow Your Heart is one of their newer patterns, and I changed the colors to match something that I made in 2019 by Heart in Hand, so they all will be very matchy-matchy. So I'm going to stitch this in February. And that's all I have planned for 2022, which is a lot. And Nancy's asking if there's a quilting planner like this for cross stitch. Yes. And I can actually show you real quick my quilting planner. It is obviously not filled out as much, just because all of the designers haven't exactly finalized their quilts for sew-alongs. And Eve is asking, can I assume that you stitch over 2 threads when you use a high count cross stitch fabric? Yes. And I don't have much experience with that, but I'm going to start since my eyesight is much better. and that'll be something new to look forward to. But if y'all have any questions on the planner or any of the things, just let me know. But I do like to keep everything very organized. It's kind of a way to control my, like, so example, this, I expect to have autumn done in September. And then here I'm going to have, down here, I'm going to put my quilts that I want to have finished. So for the quilting journal for 2022, I also put 2022. I tried to do matchy-matchy with my stickers. So they came from here. They came from, let's see, right here. I took them from right there. So for quilting, I have 3 things planned, and these are because these, I know they're final. I know the plan for these. I don't even have part 3 filled out though, because I'm waiting on info from Chery. But if I have the info, as soon as basically my rule of thumb is once I commit to something, whatever craft it is, the first thing I do is think about how I'm going to schedule it in here and schedule it in here, and then these just go with me everywhere. So I just, you know, they just go everywhere with me. So now we're going to show Stitch-Tober, and I'm going to show you all of the things that I did for week 4. And so Quilty Barn, I showed you one of them last week, but now I have both done, so I'm going to show them to you together. So on Quilty Barn, on this one, instead of the goat, I put in a scarecrow, which I'm calling him a farmer. So these are the stitch cards, and the stitch cards are the same width and height as the little square. So he's done. I was thinking he might need like some eyes. So let me know, do you think I should add some eyes? If you think I should, maybe I will. And then Denise and I are going to finish these 2 the same way Lori finished hers, and we're just going to follow what she did. And in the silo barn, I put the tractor, and I did the smoke pink instead of white. I don't even remember deciding to do that, but I did pink. So I don't know, I must have decided I didn't want white at the time. I do so much stitching, sometimes I just completely forget. That's how I forget the year, because I do so much stuff that I think my brain is just, and I thought this was really cute. You could put this in there, and you have a double barn. Then you can have a triple barn, 3 barns. So we're going to finish these, and when we finish these, we will show you FFO'd. I worked on Autumn Beauties, and this was awesome because it was so easy. It was only a couple hours to put the sign. Now, I did see some feedback that you guys had a hard time on the very last page because we have fall, y'all, autumn, harvest, and I think pumpkin were the words, and y'all had a hard time telling what they were. So in part 5, when y'all get that update, we're going to put the words so it's easier for you to see. And then this week I just have to finish out here. Now this is going to be, you can kind of tell what it's going to be. It's going to take quite a bit of time. And then this one, when I'm finished, I'm going to have Priscilla finish it. She did finish this one, this sample, so I'm going to have her do, oh, we did it. Well, I'm going to send it to Priscilla anyway, so we don't have to do it. Priscilla's going to finish it. And then here's my backing. And when I did this one, I did do, what I did is I did the sign first, the blue part. Then I added the white, and then I just filled in with the black. And that's really fun because I do try when I'm going to be in the car or at a sporting event, I do try to bring stuff that has fill-in. So for example, Saturday night, I was at a basketball event. There was a game at 4, 6, and 8. It didn't end until 10, and so when he's not playing a game, I have an hour break. So I will either get in the car, go to Starbucks just to get out of the noise, or whatever, but I will stitch in between. I don't usually stitch during his games, just in between, or you know, we have to get there early, so I'll stitch when before. So I think I did that at Peyton's game. And then the next one, this is, oh my gosh, I have loved this one. Something about this I love, and I need to buy the little purse thingy. It's not a purse, but I'm gonna call it a purse. It's a bucket. I need to buy it to send it to Priscilla so she can finish it on there. So this one I couldn't stop stitching. I only have, there's a little leaf here and then 2 here. So when I'm finished with this, I'm gonna be ready to go. I did make a change. Let's see. When I was stitching over here, I kind of noticed that this is supposed to be, it says pumpkin patch right here, but I couldn't see it. So I went ahead and filled it in with white, whereas here there's no stitches. So I filled it in with white, but then if you look, the little arrow is white and orange. So when I did this, it looked stupid because my white ran into my letter, so I pulled all the white from the arrow out and just changed my arrow to be 2 oranges because I just wanted this to show up more. So that's one change that I did. You should always feel like when you do something, just change it a little bit if you want. It's no big deal. But I just love this one. I love the variegation in the thread. This is probably one of my favorites that I've done in a while. And then, oh my gosh, I love this one too. I love all the things, especially today. Today's a good day. This is so cute. Okay, so I think I know where I'm gonna put this in my house. One of my kids loves animals, and he's 12 and he has 300 stuffed animals, and I'm not even joking. So everywhere we go, that's what we get. He doesn't want cars. He doesn't want anything. He just wants either a soft blanket or a little stuffy. So when I go out of town, this weekend, I'm gonna go to Emma's dance. I haven't told him yet because I think one of my kids is gonna be upset. So I always wait to tell them at the last minute, but I'll bring him home a stuffy, and he names all of them. They all have names. So I'll probably finish this and put it in his room, and it'll have a name. And it'll probably be some crazy name. But what I decided to do here was I did my lighter fabrics. Now I have 2 sections left, part 5 and part 6, but I might just go ahead and just finish it because it's kind of addicting. And what I like to do is do all the colors at one time. So when I'm doing this color, I'll try to do it here and here. And then when I do this color, I'll just do here, 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 here. I try to do all the colors at the same time. So I think I'm just going to do this one as one piece at the end. And this is DMC, and I'm using the little floss flowers to hold the DMC. And this one's really cute. And then this might be my last. Okay, second to last. This I worked on this week. So I didn't iron it, but these I use these when I'm stitching to hold my stitches over. So this one I have 2 sections left. So, but I really did a lot here. I did all of this, and then all I have left is this and this. And it's so cute. And I'm also doing October today, the October calendar crates, and that one is more purple, green. So I have to work on that today. And I'll probably do the same thing where I kind of work right here. But I love all this stuff. It all goes together. I love the fact that the board you can now get on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I like how you can switch it out, and it makes it easy when I send it to Priscilla. All she has to do is, finish it. She doesn't have to find a piece and all that stuff. And that one took me about 6 hours. And then this one of my goals and we'll talk about it when we get to the end of the video, when we talk about my 2021 wrap up. I will have by December 31st, 2021, let's get the year right. We're not in 2019. I will have all of these done. And we are going to do a video in January where I go to a framer. And when I go to the framer, we're going to talk to the framer about the different things. So you can kind of know what to look for when you're looking for a framer or that kind of thing. So December did just come in. I'm going to show that to you in the What's New section. But I have been doing these in sections of 3 all year. So the top, the middle, the bottom, just to make it where it's gives yourself a little break. I find when you're working with a lot of things, a lot of different things, it's best to break them up so you don't get too bored. So that is my Stitch-Tober progress for week 4. Now next week I should be completely done. And now I'm going to answer any of your questions. And ask me any question you have about my stitching. I'm happy to answer if I know the answer. How do you figure out how much time to schedule? Do you add extra time for higher count fabrics? So in my book that I'm going to show you at the end, I do keep track by project, and I can just visually know in my head, okay, that's going to take about 4 hours. That's going to take about 3 hours. And I do stitch at work. It is part of my daily routine. I stitch in the car, picking up kids. I'm a taxi. I told them I'm going to put a thing on my car that says like taxi, because I'm a taxi Uber. So I'm in the car a lot. So I don't ever really sit still. Like, I don't play games on my phone, if that makes sense. Like, when you guys are probably like playing Candy Crush, which my daughter is super addicted to, I'm probably stitching. And my daughter thinks I'm so weird. She's like, Mom, can we go to the doctor's office with, she thinks I'm so weird. And I'm just like playing it up like crazy. Cause she said, when we go to the doctor's office, I mean, do you have to bring your stitching? Like, do you have to bring it? I was like, yeah, I have to. Like, I have to. She just thinks I'm so weird. And this weekend when we're going to dance, and she's like, can you, like, when the moms go to dinner, like, can you go? Can you just, like, make sure you know what's going on? And I'm like, okay. And I keep telling her, like, why are you so worried about me, like, fitting in? I'm not worried about it. All the moms, we all get along. Like, I'll figure out where they're at. I just don't, like, I don't know. She just doesn't understand me. She thinks I'm so weird. And I'm so, like, now I'm just, like, totally playing it up to be even weirder. Can someone tell me where to get the little square frame for the calendar crate designs? So so I saw this question in Stitching with the Housewives group on Facebook, and what you're talking about, can I see the pattern real quick? I'm going to show you what she's talking about, and I do believe that Priscilla talked about this in one of her videos. I don't remember the answer, so maybe she could talk about it this week in her answer. So what she's talking about is this big frame right here with the little glass is from the Hobby Lobby section, and it's now on sale. But this is a separate piece, and it hangs down from here. And so I have seen some people ask where it's from, and we're going to look because we actually have it here. Oh, that's magic. Wow, I had no idea we had it here. Okay, so we'll show that. So let's see. So this is the first one that I had finished, was July, I believe. I didn't even know it was here. And so this hangs down. So let's see where it's from. Hobby Lobby, July 4th, 2021, ornaments, 5914205. And so like when I did this, like I'm sure Priscilla got 12 for me. You know what I mean? Like she knows like to buy 12 for her. You know, when she does it, she just buys for however many you need. I don't think this one is interchangeable like this is. So this is interchangeable. Magnets and washers. This one is not. This one she popped it in, and I don't think that's popping out. I don't think she expects me to pop that out. I don't know. That might be dangerous. I love this. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And I will say that I got a little sneaky peeky of something yesterday. I didn't even tell Priscilla and Chelsea I saw it. I'm so excited. Okay, my next question is, how did I break down the Kringle department store? Is that here? Oh, okay, then that's okay. It's too far away. I did it like I did the roof in 3 sections, and I did each room, and I did them by the month, and I took 2 years to do that. That one was hard because it was on even weave, which, you know, now I'm going to start venturing into that a little bit. But at the time, my eyesight was so bad. So I had lens replacement. I'm finally almost all the way healed. You can tell that I kind of blink a lot, and my eyelids are a little bit, but all the lights, it's a lot. But my eyesight was really, really, really bad, and I couldn't see, and I got lens replacement. And I'm thinking that I can do higher count stuff. And one of the comments that you guys gave is you want to see more designers and you want to see more intermediate stuff and more advanced. So Cheryl has committed to cover all of that, and I'm going to cover a little bit of it. I'm going to stitch what I love, and I'm going to just add a little bit. But the more designers, Cheryl has a lot of stuff planned for 2022 that you guys are going to love. What size is the cushion with the cross stitch behind you? We did a video on that. So go to Fat Quarter Shop FlossTube and search Bats and Booze Finishing. And I think that that is probably in there. And I think we even linked to the pillow. I'm having trouble finding the edge to the Farmhouse Christmas Little House. Okay, go to littlehouseneedleworks.com. At the top of her website, she has a little section for Farmhouse Christmas. Click on that and it's all on that page. Marie came in a little late. Did Kimberly say something about the housewives doing quilting or quilting patterns? We did a pattern for them. If they want to do more, we can do more, but no. But if they want to do it, we're open. Nadine, been missing your true crime thoughts during this Gabby Bryan time. What I will say about that is something that I believe and stand by is that is a perfect example of how sometimes people don't do the right thing and the victims are hurt. And the perpetrators use all the loopholes to get away with everything they want to get away with. And the laws protect sometimes the perpetrators much more than the victims. And I wish that the laws protected victims. That's what I'll say about that. Zandra, I'm stitching Holly Jolly Farm on 32 count chalkboard black, but I'm having trouble to stitch. It's so small. I live in Sweden and haven't as many things as you do in the U.S. So she doesn't have as many things as we do. So what I would suggest is put just like a white pillow in your lap. Sometimes the white will reflect under your fabric. Like the white, you can see it through. That might help. Maybe more light, maybe a magnifier. Maybe you could get readers. That would help. Those would all be things. I would say light, readers, and just give yourself a little bit more time. What are the words on the signs? It's hard to read in the chart. Okay, download 5 will have the words on the left and it's going to help you out. It's harvest, fall, y'all, autumn, and pumpkin. So we're going to have that updated, and thank you everyone for the comments. We love constructive feedback. And anytime that we see something that we could have done better, we're going to adjust it. So we have gone back, changed our file. Hopefully we've relinked it in the newsletter that goes out, but it will have that on there. Am I going to be doing Glitter Village as a stitch along? Yes. So everything that I showed in my planner will make a hashtag for all of those things. I don't use social media as a general rule. I just don't. Like if you're on Instagram, I don't have a clue what you're doing. Sometimes Lori will say, did you see what I put on Instagram? And I'm like, Lori, I don't have Instagram. So we will do hashtags and all of those things, and we'll have it where we can pop it up on the screen. We haven't gotten that far, but yes, anything I'm doing, we'll do it as a stitch along, and love for everybody to join. And I know I do a lot more than most people can handle, but you have to remember, like, I do it as a job and I can do it at my desk, so, and I also don't really do anything for myself. I just pretty much stitch all the time. Okay, Nana says, good morning. Do you think all the trimmings would look good on hazy gray dyed effect? The black is hard for me to see. No. There's too much gray in there, and I think the white would get what I would do is Google all the trimmings cross stitch, and I think some people have done Vintage Country Mocha, and that looked better. So I would stay away from gray, but I think that the tan might work. Could you explain how you outline an object before you fill it in? Where do you start and how do you work around the whole object? Well, I have a surprise. September 2nd, I don't even know what month it is. We are going to be doing a Stitchy Talk. I think it's September 2nd, right? November 2nd. Oh my gosh. I don't know, like, is Christmas coming or something? Like, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what day it is, even is. My kids don't have Halloween costumes. It's October 27th. Okay, that's where we're at in my life. But my kids, I think they're too old to, like, have Halloween costumes. I don't think they care. They just want the candy. So I was like, just get your costumes out that you already have. Like, come on. We don't need, I mean, whatever. I don't know. Kevin is, like, very specific about his holidays. And so one thing I've learned in our marriage is, like, if anything to do with holidays, I'll decorate the house. That's what I do. Anything else, I just let him do because I don't want to hear it. But one of my sons has that blow-up marshmallow man, and he's had it for, like, 3 years. And so sometimes he'll just, like, walk around the house with it, and I'm like, just use that. That'll be fine. That'll get you some candy. Because, I mean, like, I don't think they care. Anyway, sorry. Stitchy Talk next week, Tuesday, November 2nd. I am going to show outlining Quaker, and I'm going to Quaker Moon, and I can show you real quick what I'm going to do. I am going to take this piece that I did a video on, so you can check it out on our video, but I had a video where I picked, oh, it was a Stitchy Talk. This Stitchy Talk. So I picked the thread. What I'm going to do on this, I need to cut it down, is, it's kind of hard to see through here, is on camera, what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the whole moon. And I'm going to do it in half stitches so that if I make a mistake, it's much easier to pull out if you do a outline in half stitches. If you do all the way in cross stitches, when you get to the end, you might not match up. So I'm going to show that next Tuesday. And I'm actually going to, I usually don't keep the little plastic bags, but I am because this one has a little button. And I do love that Bent Creek has buttons in their stuff. And so does Heart and Hand sometimes. Will Lori's bag panels be the same print when they come out in April? So, I'm confused on that one a little bit, but she has the bag panels. They sold out. We're supposed to have more in the middle of November, and it's going to be the same one. And then she's going to have some other panels, but I don't think I've seen a second bag design yet. I've seen an apron and a casserole warmer. Can Kimberly suggest if I want to stitch Nutcracker and glitter in 14 count Ada? Beautiful beige on both, and we ordered pieces big enough. I think the piece is 27 by 36, and we cut those in-house, and it is in stock now. So you could use either 14 count or 16 count for both of those. Have you thought about a Quaker sampler? Cheryl's going to do some. If you want to see some of those, I would check out Jan Hicks. She does a lot of those. And there is a new series coming out that I saw this morning or last night. And it's a Quaker sampler, and it's from January to December. So we'll be stocking that. Off the top of my head, I can't think of the designer name right now. I probably won't stitch a Quaker sampler. Now, Cheryl is on the look for a sampler that would be like styled enough for me, and we kind of have an idea of what we're going to do, but that would be later in the year. But I want to stay true to who I am and what I'm going to decorate with in my house. Like, everything that I stitch, I keep and I decorate with, and I use, like, I mean, we decorate here with it. I don't want to get into stitching what everybody else wants me to stitch, but Cheryl does all the stuff that you guys love, so that's going to really help out. Do you have a video on finishing a piece in a frame? Yes. Snapshots. Just search snapshots, cross stitch, fat quarter shop floss tube. Tammy says she's been waiting on floss colors and Gentle Arts to come back in stock for months. Are there substitutions? Okay, so you could Google Gentle Arts conversion. The way that company works is I place a PO, and when they ship an order, you delete everything else off the PO and then redo it. So all of those colors have been on order in large quantities, and I don't know if they're going to ever ship them, but we do get weekly shipments from them. It's just there's so many colors that, like, 1 week we might get a lot of greens because they dye the greens, and then 1 week we might get a lot of reds. So I know there's some frustration over that, but I promise that I am doing my best to get that in stock. Please remember to show how to cross stitch one at a time using variegated floss on Stitchy Talk next week. Okay, I'll add that to my list and we'll get some floss. Is there a different cloth that would look good for Prairie School Santa instead of the called for? Okay, so I've never stitched those. Cheryl has stitched quite a bit of those, so we will just ask Cheryl to bring some of her pieces and we can just ask her what she recommends because she's more of an expert. I think she uses kind of a lighter cloth, but we'll ask her and we can give you that answer next week. Judy said she just ordered Farmhouse Christmas. Does Classic Colorworks change their color names? Is there a way to see all the colors you offer at Fat Quarter Shop? I think that is why DMC is so popular, is because colors are consistent. So I don't think Classic Colorworks changes their color names. Now it is a hand-dyed floss, so any hand-dyed floss, if you're going to buy, if you need 5 skeins of bamboo for an entire series, I would buy 5 or 6 because bamboo might change because it is like basically colored in a big tub. So the colors do change from time to time, but I don't think they change their color names. And we have everything on order for all Classic Colorworks, General Arts, Weeks Dye Works, DMC, Color and Cotton, NPI, and I mean, like some of the companies keep it really stocked well, and 2 of the companies don't. I'm not going to say the names, but it's all on order, and we kind of get it when we get it, but we're lucky that we get it at all. Marcia, do you leave room for new releases? Oh yeah, I'm going to just throw those in. Yes, like basically for Priscilla and Chelsea when they come out. Yeah, I will, anything that I love, I'm going to do. And I might miss some goals because I have really started off the year aggressive. But I mean, if I miss goals, I miss goals. It will all get done. Just like, for example, Kringles. I got it done a year late. Hey, it's done. As long as it gets done. Okay, Dawn, got to be careful with the friction pins because the ink will disappear if you leave the planner in a hot car. Don't ask how I know. Okay, sorry. Yes, don't use the friction pin. Use a pencil. And then I've answered Eve's question earlier. So Carolyn, good morning from South Carolina. Any chance of having a video on how to stitch with silk threads? Any tips and tricks? I would watch Jan Hicks. She has done several videos on working with silks. Now, I will tell you, I've worked with Belle Soie, and that was a little bit thinner, and I had to cut my threads a little bit shorter. With NPI, I feel like I don't have to cut my threads shorter. So I think it's even differs brand to brand. But I think the biggest tip with working with silk is to have a smaller needle, so like a size 28 needle versus a size 26 needle. And to cut your threads a little bit shorter. And then we have some super chats. Our connection just went down, but we have some super chats. We have Valeria Bauer. She says, thank you for being you. And then ... Goose. So thank you to our super chats. We appreciate those so much. Of course, they're not expected, but we always appreciate them. And now we are going to move to my 2 finishes. So I have 2 big finishes this week. Super excited about them. So the first one is So Happy. And I finished this a couple of days ago. And I'm going to finish this the same way that Lori did. And I'm going to talk about the difference in cloth. So I used the Cute Little Buttons pack 6023, and I used the same buttons that Lori did. And then this cloth is 25 count. So this comes to 12.5 count if you do Ada. I stitched on 14 count, so mine's going to be a little bit smaller. So if I put it, oh, it's going to be a lot smaller. So kind of what Denise and I were thinking was when we finish it, we will just leave our border like a little, like maybe a 1/4 inch wider. But we're going to finish it the same way, and we'll show it to you finished when we're going to finish these and the Quilty Barns at the same time. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the same exact frame that Laura used, and we put the name of it on the back of the pattern. And then mine is going to be obviously smaller, but I think it'll be fine. We'll use the same rickrack and the same technique she used, but you will, this is the difference between 25 count Lugana, and because it's 25 count, it's bigger, and so it's easier to see. So if you are new to stitching over 2, this is a great one to try, 25 count. And then this is my 14 count, so it's about 1.5 inches smaller. So I just wanted to show that, but I'm excited to have this finished. It's gonna go so good in my sewing room. I can't wait to hang it up. And then Granita, I finished. So actually when I was stitching it, I didn't put a note on which was top and bottom, so I actually don't even know. I mean, if you turn it, it's all the same, right? But hopefully there's no mistakes, because this one, it's a lot of start and stop, but this one was awesome. I love doing this one. We have a pop-up to show you of one that I saw online that I think is really fabulous. This is by S. Hawker Quilter, and I thought this was amazing, and I thought kind of how she came up with the concept of this was amazing, and it looks totally different. And on her Instagram, she did do a post after this, and it's a sheet, and it tells every DMC color she used. So y'all could thank her for that, because that is so, I love that. I saw that on Facebook and loved it. And this one I'm going to frame. I'm not really sure what color frame, so if you guys could comment and let me know what color frame, because when you do something with white and a color that's very strong like pink or blue, so for example, when I go to the framer, brown's not going to look good on this. There's never going to be a pink frame that's going to match exact. White's going to blend in. So then do you do iridescent? Do you do silver? Do you, sometimes when you do pieces like this, they're harder to frame. Now, I think the white looks really good on the blue. It might look good on the pink, it might not, because my fabric is a little bit more iridescent than this. This is a little bit calmer. So this one will be fun to video in the film. We're going to do a video at the framer and kind of show how we put I put the little frames and how I pick my frames. Now, I will say when I go to the framer, sometimes I love the results and sometimes I don't. And for example, on a recent one that I did not like the frame. I picked it, but I didn't like it, so I just took it back and I'm just going to change the frame. Now, I don't have to pay any more for the glass or the pinning of it, but I do have to buy the frame. So there are times where I don't like the frame, and that's okay. You just change it out. And this fabric right here is 14 count Opalescent by Zweigart. And now I'm going to show you some of Cheryl's stitching. So you've seen kind of my fun, easy stitching. Now I'm going to show you what cross stitchers who are experienced stitch. And this is for everyone who's asking for more intermediate and more advanced. So this is called Faith Fall at Pansy Patch Manor, and it's Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitching, and this is the pattern. This is her back. Oh my gosh, her backs are so amazing. Okay, so Cheryl stitched this on 32 count Lugana from her stash with called for Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works. So she just used all the called for colors. Now when Cheryl stitches, she does stitch 1x at a time. She keeps her threads together, and you can really see the variegation in this, and it makes it really pretty. And you can see how her variegation comes out a little bit different than the designer's. And some of these we will take with us to the framer and pick frames for, so that's going to be fun too to see, because sometimes she does hers without glass and I do mine with glass, and so that's fun. So that's her first one. And now that we're carrying more and more of the dyed fabric, she's going to be using more of what we have. This next one is going to be really fun for you to see all year. We're going to be able to show this throughout 2022. This is called Halloween and Hawk Run Hollow. So there's like a Halloween Hawk Run Hollow. There's a fall one. There's a Christmas one. I mean, I don't even know. There's a bunch of these. And they're big and they're gigantic. So look how big this piece is. Huge. So she had to cut this piece this big. Okay. So this is the back. This is the full scale of it. So what she's going to do is she's going to pick up this piece on the 13th of each month and the 31st of each month. Now, if a month only has the 30th, if she has time, she's going to stitch it. If she doesn't, she'll just stitch on the 13th. So she's going to stitch this until it's all the way done. And this has been a pattern that's been out for a while, and I've seen it on a lot of FlossTubes. It looks so hard. She is stitching on 20 count. She's using one strand of floss. We're gonna zoom in. She's using Vintage Country Mocha. She's using the called for DMC, and she's stitching 1/1. So can we zoom in more, do you think? So one strand and 1/1. I mean, that's crazy. So it looks so good. But I mean, look, her stitches are perfect. So you have to stitch it on a really high count, which is why she's stitching on 20 count, which is basically the equivalent of 40 count if you stitched over 2. So she's just doing 20 count over 1. But it's tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So that one will be showing throughout 2022. The next one was, this is a funny story. Okay, I'm not going to say it. It might sound bad. Okay, Not Forgotten Farm samplers. So Lori stitches a lot of her pieces, and this is called Halloween Queen. And here it is. So Cheryl is stitching this on our new 32 count Everything Else linen by Mystic Fabrics. She's using called for DMC. And so like here where you see 2 colors, it looks like it's variegated, but it's just 2 different DMCs. And so it says hold on, I gotta read it again. It's so bad to be the queen. I think that's what it says. We'll be able to see it when she finishes it, but it's a little pumpkin queen. And then, okay, so those are her whips. Now we're going to show you some of her finishes. This one has been super popular since it came out. It's from Silver Creek Samplers. It's called Izzy Decaying Booze and Spirits. So like it's like the person is decaying in the casket or something, I think. So she finished this. She stitched this on 32 count Stormy Night Lugana with called for DMC. This is a Halloween plaque that she got at Walmart. So it just has something on the inside, and then she just finished it on sticky board and batting and then hot glued it down. I'll turn it over to see if there's a number. WFU1HWP 357, $4.97. So cute. And I know I showed this to you when she finished it, but now it's fully finished. And then she finished a small piece from Luminous Fiber Arts. So this is Haunted. Now this pattern is, I was looking at it, and there are 4 patterns, and it's a really nice paper. So the first one is Eek. And I think she's going to do all 3. And this one is Boo. And she stitched both of these on 32 count Ancient by Picture This Plus. She used called for DMC. And this is what she did. She bought this Pick Your Poison plaque, or it's a wooden piece from Walmart. It's $2.98. And this goes right there. So she's going to finish this, obviously, on here. And a good question we could ask Cheryl is, when she stitches, does she pay attention to where she starts with the variegation? And I don't think she does. I think she just starts from a certain distance in, but that would be a great question we could ask her. So as she finishes these, we will show you these. And also, just so you know, Stitch Etc. on Facebook, they have some paddles like this that these would also finish well on. And then this piece is kind of a prelude to Monday, and we showed this to you a couple years ago. This is Quaker Moon by Bent Creek, and I'm going to be stitching mine on a 14 count Aida. And so my 14 count Aida is going to be much bigger. She stitched this on 32 count cream Lugana. She used called for flosses. And this is a wooden sign from Joann's that came out in 2020. And she added this, she glued this felt pumpkin to the bottom right with hot glue gun. And then this is I think a Marcus Brothers flannel. And I don't know that they have this. So, okay. We have a question, how big is the material? And the answer is 24 by 20. Does Cheryl do the loop method, or does she stitch over the tail? She stitches over the tail. She does not do the loop method. Yeah, she does. She stitches with the two, either if it's DMC or if it is hand dyed, she always does stitches over the tail. She does not do the loop method ever. What color frame would you suggest for Cross Stitch University? I'm looking at taupe versus antique white. I think both would look good. I think what you could do is just, what I do with the framer is put my piece down and then put the frames, like put 4 frames down, and then you can really tell. Or if you're gonna find something like a frame at like TJ Maxx or what is it called? Home Goods, just take it into the store with you. I just put it like in a Ziploc plastic bag, and then I hold up the cross stitch next to it. And that's also when Emma's like, Mom, could you leave your work at home? Like, do we have to have cross stitch everywhere? So that's like another thing that I like to do to annoy her. Is Cheryl using a spring hoop or in hand? She is using a spring tension hoop for Hawk Run Hollow. Can you tell me how to press my Aida before I start? Do I use towels? So before I start, I never press. I wait until I'm totally done and then press at the end. I used to press all those creases out and realized that it would kind of loosen up in my bag, so I don't press before I start. I want to change a sampler color for a sampler, but I'm having trouble telling the colors by the picture online. Do you have a suggestion as to the best way to do it? So what I would do in that instance is I would buy the pattern and then the fabric, and then I would put that down. And then I would, here it's easy to do because we have all the threads set aside in the little white containers we got at Hobby Lobby. So what I would do is put my fabric down, put my pattern down, and I would put the originals. And then I would, on the other side, kind of work on what I think I want to change it to, and just sometimes let it sit there, walk away, come back. And on our last Stitchy Talk in October of 2021, we showed how I picked my threads for Quaker Moon. It's not a sampler per se, but I usually start with what is called for, which is easy to say, but we're a store, so we have all the colors, so which is not absolutely, that's not like realistic for most people. So you could always do like the 80-20 rule. Look at your pattern. So like looking at this pattern right here, you could do the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule would be find 80% you love and the 20% you don't. Start with the 80% you love and then just change the 20% you don't. And so that's a quick way to, like, you know, do you like the owl color? Do you know what I mean? Just pick what you like and kind of start there. How do you find a framer that specializes in framing cross stitch? I will tell you, Cheryl uses Hobby Lobby. I will tell you that people who work here, they use Michaels. I use a place in Austin called Artworks. Super expensive, so I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. I use it because I can write it off as a business expense, if you want to know the truth. Would I pay that out of my personal money? Probably not, because I probably couldn't afford it. But I like that they actually do the pinning, and if they are off at all, I'll take it back and they'll fix it. So that's why I use them, and I don't know how to really find someone, but I would say start with a small piece. Give them something small that's inexpensive, that if they mess up, you know, you're not gonna, it's not gonna matter. How do you find the iridescent Aida splits more than regular Aida on 14 count? Oh, I didn't think it did at all. I thought it was fine to work with. I didn't have any problems at all with the iridescent Aida, like at all. So that's great. When does the new pattern come out that is the companion piece to Farmhouse Christmas? Okay, it's called Fall on the Farm. It releases in December. And as soon as she has the information to us on the size and the thread that she's called for, we will offer the club. We don't have that yet, but I can't wait to see it. And with that one, what I'm going to do is I will pull all the called for, and then if I want to switch anything out, I'll switch it out. I'm not sure if I will switch colors or not yet. If you can't see the words on the FQS pattern, I took a highlighter and colored in the words so I could see it better. So she's referring to the interchangeable frames from Autumn Beauties, but we're going to fix that on download 5. Oh, Megan says she's dying to know what those colors were that y'all posted the other day on Instagram. That's for a secret project. Oh my gosh, we have so many projects around here. I bet if I saw it, I'd be like, I don't even know what that is. So I'm probably, I'm probably right there with you. I don't have Instagram though. Can you possibly put a set of flosses together to coincide with the ombre Granita that you have shown? I would just buy those separately. We probably wouldn't do a thread pack for that one. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my previous finish feature, which kind of fits in with the theme of today. Maybe we need to make a pattern called Hot Mess Express so that when I'm a hot mess, we can show that, because that is sometimes the theme of me. So this was made last year. I made it, and this actually sits in Kevin's office because Kevin loves Halloween. He loves any kind of black decor that he thinks he's going to use. We have a little corner, and then some of it ends up in Peyton's room. But he does like this one. So this one's in his office, so I had to pull it out to bring it. So this is a download that you can get on our blog, which is the Jolly Jabber. These are the patterns that you need to purchase. They're all Lori patterns. And then the colors that we used are also listed on our blog. So it's all on a blog post. This is, we did this in Stitch-Tober 2020. So that would be last year's Stitch-Tober. And this is Overcast 25 count. So it is a gray 25 count. And we finished this one. Yeah, Denise finished this one, so super cute. And so this one sits in Kevin's office, so I'll have to take it back because right now he's got a little frame that's just sitting there empty. He's probably like, where's my kitty? You know, he loves animals so much. The kitty's got to go home. So now I'm going to show you a lot of brand new items that we have coming. And some of these are coming soon, some are in stock. This is going to be the Daisy Bee's Knees book stand. So we always make these book stands for Lori Holt. Our first was blue. Our second was pink. They're both sold out. So we do a limited run. And the reason why is it's super expensive to produce these, and we buy what we can afford, and then when they're gone, they're gone. We can't buy more because we just can't afford it because it's a super expensive item. But this is a way you can hold up your cross stitch. So we are pre-selling these this time. And this one obviously matches her bee. They're all exactly the same. We just changed the color. So this will be shipping in March, April. you can reserve it now by clicking the reservation. And this is the only one we have, so I might have to take it home. This is so exciting. So this is a coming soon product. This is called Denim Daisy Project Bag. So you can cross stitch on the bag, but we make them for Lori, and it does have a gusset on the bottom. It will sit up, and Lori likes her bags to be slightly different sizes all the time. So this is going to be her next bag. It's going to come out in November. So we're not pre-selling it because it's going to be out any day. And it's got this bin just because this is how it came from the factory. And then it says "Bee in My Bonnet Co." right there on the thing. And then it's got her little bee. So this is going to be super cute. And then the next thing that came in this week, and I'm going to do a video. Well, we have a video right now. It's an awesome video. It's one of my favorite videos we ever did. And it's on our channel right now. And I'm going to show you all the compartments so that you can ask any questions about all of those. And I'm going to do a video where I organize my floss. So this was something that was in the works for, I would say, a good 2 years to get this exactly right. This is called the Floss in Store Acrylic Box Storage. It has our logo here. And we spent a lot of time figuring out what size and what size compartments. And so we have classic colorworks, and you can store these where the tags sit up. You could also do them sideways. And 16 fit in here. Oops. So you can get 16 classic colorworks. And you can see we did this by color. And on the bottom are felted rubber, not felt, rubber little dots, rubber dots. So you can stack it on top of each other and you won't scratch. So that's classic colorworks. We made sure it fit our floss. So they fit perfectly, and you can fit 16 also. 12, I can't count, 12. And then you can stack it. And then this is how Gentle Arts looks. So we also did these sideways. These are too big to go up and down. So each of these you can kind of see they all fit, and that's why it took us so long to develop this, is we wanted it to be very inclusive for all manufacturers. And I can't wait to take my Tupperware type stuff and show you how I organize it. I'm going to do it on a video. We'll probably time lapse it, but this is all just stuff that we had from our full stash. Now Weeks Dye Works, these are smaller tabs, so they're going to be further down, and I will say they're going to be harder to find the name of, but they're always harder to find the name of. And oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Can we show the floss bitties fit in the tray when they have the floss looped on them? All the videos show them empty. Sure. I guess we can do that and show it next week, because I have some projects that are wrapping up this week, and we can just put them in here. So we'll show it. Yeah, okay, yeah, let me have those. So we have a project right here, which is Foxtastic, and I'll show you. Okay, now just as an example, these are the colors I'm done with in Foxtastic, and when I'm done, I put them back in, just because I'm OCD a little bit. So kind of what we do is put the floss to the right. And then this one, obviously, this is my leftover. I'll fix that. Well, just, yeah. When I'm done with the whole project, I take that and put it on the bottom. So we made sure it fit all of our stuff, all of Lori's floss flowers, her egg drops. We can add some of her egg drops in here. Those just came in. So that's how it fits. Can you imagine if I forgot to take these out though and then went home to stitch? I'd be like, oh my God, where's my floss? Because that's something that I would do. So this is so exciting. Something I'm very personally proud of that we were able to do, because whenever I can't find something, for example, at the Container Store or Michael's or wherever I shop for myself, I create it, because we need to create what we don't have in the market. So I'm going to move these gently, and they come in a really nice box. I can't speak today. They come in a really nice box. You're going to like the box. You're going to love the way it looks. I'm sorry, I'm trying to say a commercial. What is that commercial? You're going to love the way it looks. And I wanted to let you know, for everyone that's looking, the Peppermint Lane is now available as a PDF. We'll add it to our Etsy site too, since we have a little Etsy site for the people that just want to shop on Etsy. And then the next thing, we have a lot of new Stitching with the Housewife stuff, and you're gonna love. You're gonna love this. Oh my gosh, I haven't even worn this yet. So this is a brand new. Let's do it from the front camera. So it is a long sleeve t-shirt, and it's slightly more expensive than the previous. And the reason why is we get these made locally, and it costs more because we added more colors. So this is going to be for Jolly Housewives. Now, of course, we have Jolly Housewife shirt from last year too, but now we have two. So I'm excited. And those just came in. So we're going to put those on the top of the What's New page so that you can find it easily. But it's really cute because it's the cross-stitch design, and I can take this home. The other new items from them, this came out today. This is 'Tis the Season. And that is in stock now. It's a PDF. This was released last Friday as a PDF. And then this we're pre-selling to ship in the future. Now, also last night they sent us one that's called Gingerbread Cookie, and that's also pre-selling. And I'm going to stitch 'Tis the Season, Claus Christmas, and Gingerbread Cookie. Let's see. So this is my planner for the end of 2021, and we'll talk a little bit about my Jolly Housewives, which is down here. But this is very exciting. The stripes by Priscilla and Chelsea are now in stock. So we have, it's black and white, and you've seen these on their finishings for quite a while. Black and white, red and black, orange and black, blue and white, red and white, the reverse, white and black, white and red, and white and blue. And this is 100% cotton, so we have a 1/2 yard bundle. We have a 1 yard bundle, and we have a fat quarter bundle, and we also have yardage of all of this. And so these will be basics, as just like the Priscilla's Pretty Plaids and the Chelsea's Checks, they will be basics. So that is now in stock. We have some new Country Cottage Needlework. Some of this came yesterday, so I was so excited that it came in time for live stream. So this is December sampler of the month. And speaking of that, I only have one spot. Oh yeah, I do. Page 44. I left a spot for it. So I had to tell myself, you can only do the rest of this planner because I can't start another one. So I got to finish. I only have one more opening for 2021. So this is going to be finished along with October, November, December, all by the end of the year. It was our sampler of the month by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I'm going to do a video where I show all of them together. It's going to be awesome. The next thing that they had come in was Greetings from the North Pole. The stitch count is 133 by 171. And this, when I originally saw it on Instagram, no, I didn't see it on Instagram, Facebook. No, I think I saw it, somebody screenshot it Instagram and sent it to me. I thought it was a series. So if you're somebody who likes to break things up, this would be super easy. You could do January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So this is one that's very good for beginners and really cute. And I'm going to add this to my Jolly July for 2022. So I might have to go ahead and add it to that book. We'll see. Also, with that, we have the thread pack. So a lot of times Country Cottage will mix DMC with her classic color work. So if you want to stitch this on the same fabric, which is 32 count beautiful beige, this is what you need. So if you want to do this on Ada, I would do 16 count beautiful beige. If you're going to stitch on 14 count beautiful beige, you might need slightly more thread. I would just kind of, there's not a measurement for that. We have 2 new Heart in Hand, A Very Merry Christmas, and then this is Christmas Tiny Town, and she shows you it finished in a frame. Well, actually mounted with rickrack, but then also in a little pincushion. And then 2 more new items by Cottage Garden, Turkey Day and Snow and Love. Oh my gosh. And there's like a family joke that goes with that, but I can't say it. It would be inappropriate. And now I'm going to show you my plans to finish for 2021. So right here, all the way through, like right here, line 38, all of this is Stitch-Tober. So by next week, not all of this, but most of this should be done. And when it's done, it has a number by it. That means that's how many hours it took me. And that's why I keep track of it, so that I know if I'm doing something, I can just, if I'm doing another calendar crate small, it takes me about 3.5 hours or 3.25 hours. Like, it just kind of tells me so I can plan my day. Then what I did is I added my Jolly July. So for Jolly July, I'm going to stitch Buffalo Plaid Christmas, Hello Christmas, Here Comes Santa Claus, December Sampler of the Month, December Calendar Crates, Claus Christmas, Gingerbread Cookies, 'Tis the Season. I might stitch Jingle All the Way by Little House Needleworks, and then I've got one more spot. And then I have to stop for the year. I have to say no more. And now I'm going to answer the rest of your questions. Trisha is asking if I will do my own colors for North Pole. No, I think I'm going to keep the colors the same. I do think I would probably stitch that on 14 count beautiful beige though. Will there be a Classic Colorworks Floss pack for Claus Christmas? Let me look. We can try to do one. I'm not sure we'll have enough of bamboo because it uses 3 of those. So we'll try if we can get enough floss, but we might not be able to get enough floss. Will the fabric be available in the UK? We ship to the UK. Thank you all. What are the mesh bags made of? Would they withstand some heat? Oh, no. No heat. I don't know exactly what they're made of, but no heat. No iron. Please, no iron. Could y'all start carrying extra small in the shirts? I don't think the manufacturers make it an extra small, actually. So we'll look on the next batch, but I'm not sure they offer that. Would Quaker Owl be available as a PDF? Bent Creeks are not available as a PDF. Will the cubes fit Silky Petite? I don't have any up here. We'll look and we'll tell you next week. Do the DMC floss holders fit in the box? DMC floss holders. I think they should. Yeah, I think they should. I think they will. The floss bobbins should. Yes, the floss bobbins will fit. Yes. Now the DMC as it comes as a long skein will not fit unless you fold it in half. Can you show how the floss biddies fit in the tray when they have, okay, I did that. What when I frame my projects, I always use non-glare glass. Do you recommend? I always use museum glass. That's what my framer calls it. I don't know if, but yes, so that would be a yes. I found the cutest tiny mini hoops. Any patterns for tiny gingerbread men? Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe next year. I don't know of any off the top of my head. Well, thank you for spending your Wednesday with us. I had so much fun with you guys. I loved chatting with you. Make sure to join me next Tuesday on Stitchy Talk and stitch with me, and y'all have a great week.